All right. So we are here reviewing the Avatar set before pre-release tonight, and we took the liberty of going through the entire 360 card set, and we found as many like standard playable cards as we could find,
Yeah.
and we're gonna say like maybe are there going to be new decks in standard or what existing decks they go into, and we'll go card by card. It's like 60 cards or something. It won't
Yeah.
be too
Basically, we did the work. Maybe we missed some stuff.
Yeah, if we did miss
Maybe
stuff,
not. Maybe we're
tell
overestimating
us.
some stuff because we got excited about ideas.
Yeah,
Let's just start left to right. For the most
yeah.
part, we picked rares and mythics.
Mostly rares and mythics, or there's
We
like a lesson something we put
we
in
did
here.
get excited about a lesson deck, so there might
Yeah,
be some lesson cards here that could potentially be playable. This is barely playable, so it's a weird one to start on.
and these are
Um,
all like standard cards. We're not really thinking about other formats, modern, like we're really thinking about standard and what cards could be good in standard.
Right. If you play limited at all, you know that the bar is much lower, and there's a lot
Yeah.
of good limited cards. So
Yep.
we're thinking standard. Um, Earth King. It's a 4 mana 2/2 and a 4/4.
Yep.
When you attack with a creature that's 4 or greater, you get a tap land for each of those creatures. So if you have a 4 power creature in play when you play this, you can get value right away.
Yep.
It also makes a 4 power creature to get value
And
the next turn.
and there are really good existing 3 mana 4 power creatures already in the format. Outcaster Trailblazer
Mhm.
is one of them. So if you go Trailblazer on 3 and then this card on 4, you'll draw a card from the Trailblazer's ability, attack with Trailblazer, get a land, and that's like a pretty insane amount of value.
Huge, yeah, and
So
it's a 2/2 and a 4/4 as
exactly.
well.
So that's like what we're thinking about.
Okay, next. Oops, next. What's happening?
There was 2 copies of it.
Oh, okay. Um, the best Aang probably in
The best like character card that we saw.
yeah.
there
A lot of
aren't-
the character cards
a
were
lot of the
bad,
characters suck.
unfortunately.
Like yeah.
But Aang is good because if you don't know how airbending works, it lets you like remove something from the game, and then they can recast that thing for 2 mana.
Yep.
You can do it on your own thing or enemy things. In this case, it works on creatures and spells on the stack, so they can recast that spell for 2 mana. But it's a really good tempo thing. It's a
Yeah.
2/3 flyer, and does it show us the backside here? Oh, it does.
Yeah, you can click transform right there.
Oh yeah, right there. And so, I mean, this might not come up, but in case it does,
Late game, you're flooded
Yeah.
out. Both players are flooded. It's a 5/5 reach and trample that puts a counter on all your tapped creatures. If you attack with everything, they all get counters.
yeah,
It's kind of like if you flip this and attack with this, you're probably winning the game,
right.
but it won't happen very often.
It's not.
is
Yeah,
the
you're not really
thinking.
playing around it, but it could happen.
But the really like interesting part about this card is you can exile like a board wipe, and then swing for lethal like on that turn, right? So if you like play a bunch of things cheaply, they cast a big board wipe, you exile it, you swing for lethal, they won't get a chance to cast that board wipe again.
Sure.
So like it's a flashy.
Potentially, you can also airbend your own things to prevent them from dying to board wipes.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then recast it for 2.
If they like spot remove something, you can play this, airbend it, and then cast it for 2 later in the game.
Yeah, or you just maybe not even to dodge, but maybe you just want to recast an ETB. I think the versatility of airbending is
for sure.
potentially really interesting.
Yeah.
This Azula we thought was potentially all right. It's
okay.
kind of expensive at 5, but when it enters, your opponent they get to choose, but they have to exile a creature that they control. So if they only have like one big threatening creature, then it's pretty good because it exiles it. It also they have to exile a non-land in their grave,
Yep.
and then you can cast both of them as though they had flash with mana of any type.
So you can attack with it and use the mana you get. It's kind of like maybe there's a Dimir control deck in standard that would want to play 1 or 2 copies of this. It's not. It's just kind of. It's not really.
Yeah, it's not necessarily insane.
Yeah.
A little expensive at 5.
This card's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Zuko here is pretty solid. You want to tell them about it?
Yeah, it's a 2 mana 2/3. At the beginning of your first main phase, so when you play it, it has to survive a turn, which is like pretty brutal. But then if you get to untap with it, you get to either draw a card, put a counter on it, or add a mana, and you can only do each of those once. And then after doing all 3 of those things to your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is that by the time you have to give it to your opponent, they're already dead, or you're already just so far behind.
I just don't see this happening. I remember there was a card in was it Texas or Red, that had something like that, where after you used all of its once per turn effects,
Yeah.
your opponent got something valuable, and it never came
It just
up.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Because
this is 4
yeah.
turns, right? It's not the turn you play it. The next turn you do 1, then the turn after,
Yep.
then the turn. So it's
just
5
so
turns.
much value for a 2-mana creature.
Yeah, look, if they remove it, then that's fine. It's a 2-mana creature.
Exactly.
And if they don't remove it, you're immediately either drawing a card, or maybe ramping, right? Maybe you'll put a counter.
Already getting value to where the removal spells just get worse and worse the longer it waits.
So I think it's pretty good in some sort of Rakdos shell.
We've seen this card. There's a card, Thalia's Lieutenant, which does this for humans. So if there is an ally weenie deck, we didn't really think there was enough good ally
I saw a lot of
cards.
allies. I just didn't look at all the uncommon allies.
Yeah, the problem is that allies aren't a big thing in other sets in Standard. So,
Right.
like, it would have to be, like, an Avatar-only deck, which is hard to do in a format that's been around for, like, the cards are legal for, like, 3 years. The past 3 years.
Yeah, it could be, though. It's a huge set, and there were a lot of good cards.
But if there is an ally deck, this is the best card in that deck by far. I mean, this card's insane in that deck.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's about it.
This
card is I don't think
we
this
weren't
card's
sure.
very good.
I don't know. I think I just clicked on this one because I was thinking, like, depending.
If there is an Orzhov sacrificey deck, this is the best card in that deck. There won't be. It's probably not good.
Moving on.
Yeah. This card's cool.
Oh yeah, we like our lesson cards.
Yeah, we were thinking as we went through all the cards, there was like a teamer lesson deck we kind of saw. There's a couple good teamer payoffs. There's like the one big good teamer payoff that we'll get to later. But like if there is a teamer deck, this deck's pretty good in it.
Yeah, you want to get some lessons in the grave.
Oh right, like the big lesson mechanic is you want 3 or more in your graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
So getting 3 as fast as possible makes all of your lessons like that much better. So this lets you put 2, and so this gets you to 3 in your graveyard so much faster.
It's a shame you only won one at first, but if they don't remove him, you could potentially, when you untap,
yeah, like
buff him up.
lesson 3/3 for 2, like
then it's okay.
this card could be pretty good.
This one's better.
This one's better.
So we've got a 3-mana flying ward 1 X3.
Yep.
And X is equal to the number of not just lessons in your grave, but non-creature, non-land cards. So I mean, you know, typically that's going to be lessons, but there might be other non-creature, non-land cards in play. Even if there's only like 1 or 2, the fact that it has flying and ward, and when it dies, as long as you only have 1 lesson card in your graveyard, which
is trivial, like
you'll play 1 before you play this. Then it replaces itself.
Yep.
So it can grow, and it can be very big in the late game. I mean, if you have 5 lessons, 6 lessons, then you've got a 5/3 or a 6/3 flying ward 1 that also draws when it dies. Like, not bad.
So really quick, the really cool thing about this is not only does it draw a card when it dies, but if they try to kill it, they have to spend a mana. So their 2-mana removal spells don't actually gain them any mana advantage because they have to spend 3 mana on them.
Right.
And you draw the card, so it's impossible to get a good trade against this card.
It's difficult.
It's very hard.
And with 3 toughness is okay.
It doesn't get burst lightning. It doesn't, you know.
Yeah, it survives a lot of weak removal, and you know, flying is nice. So.
Good blocker.
Azula.
This is kind of a gimmicky card. Like the one interaction, so when you cast a spell, while it's attacking, you can copy that spell, and it has firebending too. The thing is, it's going to die a lot of the time. It's a 4-mana 4/4 with no ETB, no... But if you do get on top with it, and you're playing some sort of like 4-color, like big deck, and you get to go turn 5, Jeskai Revelation twice...
It's optimistic.
You win that game.
Yeah, of
you
course.
just win the game.
I just don't see this surviving. But I guess it could.
That is a cool interaction we wanted to show.
It's a cool interaction, the double Jeskai Revelation will win. Yeah, so you would get, you know, you'd have 5 mana the turn after you play it, ideally. Attack, you get 7, and then it's just a double Jeskai Revelation.
Yep.
And that's, so even if they counter one, one's going through.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, we saw, this was a nice little
this is
lesson
goofy,
card.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I mean, you got a 2/3 for 2, which is a good stat line. It's a mana dork.
Yep.
And it's potentially extra mana if you use it for lessons. So, and there are some good lessons.
Well, one thing about the lessons is that the 3 best lessons, there's 1 in each color, they're all 2 mana. There's a really good green lesson, there's a really good blue lesson, there's a really good red lesson. They all happen to be 2 mana. So, like, being able to tap this and cast a really good 2-mana spell...
For free,
like, basically for free, right? Is, like, so good. Like
I think so.
yeah,
I like
and
it.
it's a 2/3
And
for 2.
even
which
if
is,
not,
like,
it's
statted.
still a mana dork that's
Yeah.
a 2/3 body. Like, I'm happy with that.
Helps you cast. This is the main card. This is the big card in this like
Maybe it's
lesson
good.
deck we're cooking up.
Maybe. I don't even know if this is necessary.
Basically,
well, you probably run 1 or 2.
Yeah, so each lesson card in your graveyard during your turn has flashback for 1 generic mana. So every lesson in your graveyard can be cast for 1 generic mana, which is strong if your 6 mana 5/5 survives the turn. Which
Yeah. If it
won't
survives
happen.
the turn.
Like
It also gets 2 mana when it attacks, so
Yeah.
you're getting 2 of those lessons for free, and then the rest are just 1 mana after that. But yeah, it's just tough when I see.
yeah.
But maybe if this is like a hyper late game cast, and you can just get the
Yeah.
value of the lessons right away. Like if I have 8 mana and I can
There-
cast 2 of them right
Yeah,
away.
there are some
or
rampy
9.
legends that ramp you.
Oh.
I mean, not.
There's a land for
Lessons.
every color that has
Yep.
an extra effect.
This is the best one, I think.
Probably.
So this one enters tapped unless you control a basic, which will be very easy in standard. A lot of decks
I
like
mean,
especially
looting for 3 is not that great.
looting for 3 is
Well,
pretty
looting
nice.
for 4 actually.
Looting for 4 on a land that will always on an island that will most of the time pretty good.
Yeah.
And this is the second best
I think this one's better.
in a white weenie deck, right? You're
Yeah.
like in a mono white deck where you're playing 18 basics, whatever. Or
This just feels like more value though. So for 5 mana, you're putting a 1/1 counter on everything, versus for 4 mana, you're just looting.
it is, but it also costs 1 extra mana,
It does
and
cost
it
1 extra
requires
mana.
more setup. You need
Yeah.
creatures in play,
Totally.
whereas the other one you can do
That's
whenever.
true. That's true.
This card's actually not that good now that I'm
No.
thinking about it because Fountain Port exists,
Yeah.
which is a colorless version of this. So
There's some advantage to that, but
it's a lot of mana.
oh, we thought this was like an insane trick. And by the way,
It is a lesson.
we're not on white
5
lesson
color
here.
lessons. I mean, hear me out, guys.
Green could do it.
Next video.
Green adds in all the colors.
Green adds all
Honestly,
the colors.
it could be done.
Good.
We just thought this was an insane 1 mana combat trick because
Yeah.
it gives them hexproof, right? So it's anti-removal for 1.
Mhm.
Also first strike if they block. Also lifelink. Also
Yep.
flying if you
Yep.
just want to like make your thing get over. All for 1 seems kind of crazy.
The downside is that it doesn't give any power and toughness,
No.
so it doesn't make your 2/2 better, but
Well,
it makes
first
your
strike.
5/5 insane. Like the bigger the creatures are, the more valuable the creatures are, the better this is, because.
I mean, sometimes just giving it first strike means it wins a trade.
But the problem is like you can't
But-
attack with a 2/2 into their 3/3 with this card.
No, you're right.
So-
Well, unless you really want to, then you could fly over it or something. But like,
You'd have to do it before, right? You
yeah,
won't-
yeah. But like, the versatility is
The
pretty
versatility is pretty nice.
sweet, right? Like the first strike and the lifelink typically work together,
Yep.
right? And then hexproof, anti-removal.
In this-
You know, the best
yeah.
case scenario is if your opponent makes a block on a creature that relies on them also using a removal spell to win to make that trade. So now your hexproof beats the removal spell and the lifelink and the first strike beat the creature.
And
I
you
mean,
just kind of blow them
but
out.
even just it's 1 mana, so you
Yeah.
don't need it to be that amazing. You just like also just 1 mana hexproof that also can do other things.
Now the problem is like what deck does what deck does this card go into? There's like
I don't know
a
yet.
Boros aggro deck that I could see, that this card being okay in, but this is just
need
like
to
a
enter the
generically
avatar
good
state.
card. I
Wait,
would say.
what's that enchantment right now that gives it?
Sheltered by Ghost.
You already knew what I was going. Yeah, I mean, it's hard enough to remove things that are sheltered by ghosts because of the ward 2.
Yep.
And then imagine they pay all this mana, 2 mana removal, another 2 ward 2, and then you just
Yeah,
one
there's a
mana.
Boros aggro deck
Hex
that's
proof.
literally just mono red with Sheltered by
I could
Ghost.
see this in a
And I
deck that
could
runs
see that-
sheltered by ghosts.
Yeah, I agree.
And again,
Like a white weenie deck in standard, which it
Yeah.
seems like this set is like boosting up.
let's see this guy
Here's
too.
another white weenie card.
Yeah, depending on how we clicked on this based on how good allies are.
Yeah, if
'Cause-
allies are good, this card's great.
Right.
If allies are bad, I mean, this is a 4 mana 3/5 with vigilance,
You can look at
but
the
it
top
protects
card.
from Day of Judgment, which is the board wipe of the format. And so you give your stuff indestructible.
Yeah.
Day of Judgment doesn't work.
No,
so
that's relevant, and
you know.
potentially this is relevant, and
Yeah,
at least
it's-
seeing your cards is something, even if you don't have allied.
Yeah.
But
like if you go weenie into weenie into weenie into this on 4, and now they can't board wipe you, like that could be good.
yeah, you're absolutely right. Momo, the friendly flyer, we
Yep.
thought this was good.
So 1 mana 1/1 with flying, and it's especially good in if you remember Aang, which we showed a little bit ago.
Mhm.
The 3 mana. If there is like an Azorius flash flying kind of tempo-y deck in standard, this card's great in it. It makes all of your flying creatures 1 less. So your
Yeah,
Aang is
that's
now
pretty
2
big.
mana. Your Aven Interrupter is now 2 mana.
Sure, and Momo just
Your-
keeps getting buffed.
Exactly.
I mean, even though this probably is only triggering once per turn, like, if they don't have a flying blocker for it, then, like, an extra 2 in the air will add up.
Yeah.
But yeah, making your things cost 1 less. That's only 1 mana. I think it's pretty good.
Yep.
Um,
But you really want that card for the -1 cost.
Sure.
The-
It's
the-
legendary, so I feel like this is, like, maybe a
A
solid
3
2
of
of.
or 2 of. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. South Pole Fire. This is a good ally.
This is one of the better ones, I would say.
Yeah.
So 2 mana 2/2.
It gains 1 life right when it enters,
Well, it gains 1 life when any
including
creature-
this.
when any ally enters.
Right.
So
So right away, though, when you play it, it gets a life.
yeah,
And then if you can
race
play it with
mono red
something
decks.
else, or if it survives the turn,
Yep.
then it's easy. Now you're going to gain 2 life, draw a card. That's pretty solid.
Yep.
And being an ally might be very
Again, just
annoying.
depends on how good allies are. If allies
It
are
totally
bad,
depends on
all of
allies.
these cards
I
suck.
think there's some good allies. Though.
Yeah.
This one's interesting. It's specific in
I
that.
don't like this one.
Yeah, you weren't as big a
actually.
fan.
Yeah.
Your opponent
different.
needs to have 2 things that are at least 3 mana value or higher. So it's niche depending on what decks you're against. But if
Yeah.
it does, then you're effectively removing 2 things for 5 just on the turn 1 of the saga. The second one you might skip altogether.
Yeah, it seems kind
Or
of
you
bad.
might not. It just depends. But then the third, it transforms into a 4/5 flyer that also can airbend things.
Yep.
I don't know. It
I don't
could
love
be good.
it, but it could be like a sideboard card for some like white weenie decks that want like a little like to beat the bigger decks in post board,
Could be.
and then like draw some cards, and then who knows?
Who
honestly,
knows? I mean, if they have like, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
This card's cool.
Yeah, this card's a good white weenie card
This
because
is
X
yeah.
could be 0 and you just have 2 mana
yeah,
buff
like
everything.
2 mana buff everything. If you have a big board, is like honestly pretty good, like
Sure.
good enough, I would say.
Or if even it's 3, that 1/1 is also getting buffed. So
Yep.
for now 1 more mana, you're making for every additional mana you make another 2/2.
Another 2/2.
Which is pretty
Which
good.
is good.
Because it also scales with like, sometimes
I
you
mean,
flood a little and
there-
then now you can make 4.
There's even a chance that like you play this in like an Azorius control deck where like you play one of this and like 10 mana you make 8 2/2s
A
and
hold
like
up
that's
2
how
for
you
a
turn the
counter spell
corner
or something. Yeah,
That's,
it could be.
like, so maybe
But definitely I think it could have play in aggro.
this is the lesson card. That's the best one in the set by far. This is 2 mana. Look at the top 3, put 1 in your hand. So worst impulse. But if you have 3 lessons in your graveyard,
2
which
mana
is
instant
like
add 3.
2 mana instant draw 3, which is
Yeah,
close to
that's
recall.
crazy.
And like the main idea of any lesson deck in standard, if there is one, is how quickly can I get 3 in my graveyard to cast this spell as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind
You
of
resolve this once and you're in a pretty good spot.
yeah. You can even think about 1 mana lesson into Soka, the one that discards 2 and draw 2,
And then it's live turn 3.
and then it's live turn 3, and like
It's
you know.
also Sokka.
Yeah.
Not
is it
Sokka?
Sokka?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Avatar enjoyers.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Why did we click on this one?
So this one is a 2 mana 4/5.
Uh-huh.
With flying and ward 2.
Uh-huh.
So if you're playing some sort of deck that puts a lot of creatures and artifacts into play cheaply, for example, Thraben Inspector,
Oh, the map tokens. and stuff.
Spyglass Siren, 1 mana, make a 1/1 and make an artifact. Thraben Inspector, 1 mana, make a 1/2
I guess
and a
flying,
3 token.
War 2, 4, 5, Scry 2 on
If
enter.
you can cast this turn 3
Uh-huh.
or turn 4,
Uh-huh.
you're just in a great spot.
No, yeah,
right?
turn 4, 4, 5 flyer, War 2, Scry 2 is solid
It's pretty
enough.
amazing. So
I
if-
think anything after that,
I mean, you already have, if you think about it, you have Spyglass Siren, which makes 2 things, Thraben Inspector, which makes 2 things.
uh-huh.
They printed a new 2 mana 1/3 make a clue, so that would also make 2 things. So if you just go Spyglass
Oh, yeah,
Siren,
and your creatures can also tap for 1.
yeah. So if you go Spyglass Siren or Thraben Inspector on turn 1,
Mhm.
that new 2 mana 1/3 that makes a clue on turn 2, and then that means you can cast this on turn 3,
Yeah, you'd
really
have,
easily.
you'd
have
have
4,
yeah, plus the mana.
and then plus
yeah,
3.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's scenarios where this
The
card
what?
can be
The
very
other,
good.
there's another 1 mana that makes a map token besides.
It's not a map token; it's a clue token.
And it's 1 mana.
For 1 mana.
Oh, that's
white
great.
card.
So
three-
theoretically, you could also cast
It's over there.
1 of them on turn 1 and then 2 on turn 2.
Yes, and then you have 6 things, and then this costs actual 2 mana on turn 3. So if this can be consistently cast on turn 3 in any deck, it's going to be great.
So yeah, you just need to curve to 3 and have 2 things that make things.
Yes. For
Which
example,
isn't
this is the next card. Here
Easy,
we
but
go.
it's also not hard.
If that's what you're building your deck around,
Right,
which
it's-
this might be worth building your deck around it. You know?
Yeah, and it's not horrible on turn 4 either. I
No,
would
it's
say
not.
a 4-mana 4/5 flyer with Ward 2 and Scry 2
Yep.
is solid.
Yep.
So okay.
So this is the card I was just talking about. Cheap body that makes a clue token.
Oh, you're talking
so,
about the next thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So this is
Yeah, I don't know. But
This
you said there's
just-
a 1-mana version of this card?
there's a 1-mana version in white of this card.
Uh-huh.
So but
That's
you play
also
both.
1/2.
You play both, and it just makes it so if you have any combination of those 12 cards if you have 2 of any of those 12 cards, then that means you can cast that.
There's
4/5.
no after those 8. This is the next best thing. You think?
I'm sure we'd have to look.
Yeah, we have to look.
There
So this
are,
is we'll put a pin in it.
Yep. There are 2-mana 1/1s that make
Gran
another 1/1.
I missed Gran. What'd she do? Whenever Gran becomes tapped, she
Draw a card, discard a card.
loots.
Loots.
Non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less for as long as there are 3 or more lesson cards.
So this is another
Okay.
lesson you pay off. I mean, it's only 1 mana, and if you can get
Yeah.
lessons in your graveyard quickly,
And maybe if you play her turn 1, maybe you can attack turn 2 and do a little looty loot. The
And-
problem is if they put pretty much any creature on the board, she ain't tapping. And but you can waterbend with her.
yeah.
And then
And
that triggers
another
her.
really nice thing is that, again, like I was saying, all of the best lessons are 2 mana. So this -1 actually does have a lot of relevance, with those cards. This is another lesson that
Solid.
It's quench.
It's playable.
It's literally quench.
But it's a lesson.
It's called
quench.
It'll Quench
It'll
Ya,
quench ya.
which is kind of cute.
Yeah, I think it's fine because again, we're trying to for the first few turns get lessons in our grave. So
Yep.
if we can stop their tempo and add a lesson
And
to our
add a
grave
lesson?
for
Maybe 2 of, 3 of. Depends on how controlling you want to be.
I might even go for 3. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, 2 or 3.
It's interesting to think about these kind of worst cards if they have synergy with
I
good
feel like
cards.
these kind of cards are good for the first 4 turns at least.
Yeah.
After that,
That's
they're
quench.
okay.
That's what quench does.
Right.
Yep.
And for that being a lesson, I think this tag makes it nice, and it's also a more fun name and art than quench.
Let me call Adam, actually. Do you want me to? He just got off work.
Well, he knows what tag. We'll call him back at 5.
Okay. Secret of Bloodbending. This card's a meme.
We just thought it'd be fun.
This card's a joke.
No, well, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, guys.
Hear Josh out on this one.
When you watched Avatar and you watched that bloodbending episode, if you're like me, you're thinking, why didn't they just do this the whole time? So they had to make some nonsense about it being like evil or Katara like it hurting her or whatever until like the whole rest of the show, I guess, because really
It's kind of
bloodbending
broken.
is
It's a little
completely
broken.
broken.
It's a little broken.
It just like who cares if you can bend a fireball when I can literally just like instantly make your heart stop?
Yeah.
Like, okay. That being said, nerd lore aside,
Yeah. Avatar rant done.
Avatar
Let's
rant
get to
done.
the card.
But to the card itself. So for 4 mana, you take your opponent's combat phase, which A means they lose a combat phase, right? You could just have them pass if you want to like protect yourself for a turn.
Yep.
Or you have them just attack with their worst things,
And
so
then-
you can make good blocks.
Well, you
and-
can
and
even
kill their
have them
board.
attack with everything and then just block in a way that benefits you.
Right, and then blitz
Right.
them. Like,
Yep.
there's options. So
Mhm.
for 4, it's
Mhm.
all right.
Mhm.
But if you can waterbend 10, which although is a high cost, if you are making all these artifacts and all these weenies, it could be done.
Maybe a sideboard
And
card
then
against, like...
you take their turn, which means you see their hand, and you can cast whatever spells you want. You can remove everything.
anything with their removal spells.
You could just tap all their land for fun. You could tap it and untap it and tap it again.
Something like so niche, but like if you have a quench in your hand,
Mhm.
you can cast one of their spells, quench it, and then not pay because you control them, so you don't have to pay even if they can pay.
Yes.
So like there's really niche, weird interactions that this card has.
once you get to take someone's hand in turn, I mean, it's fun. But, the question is when you can cast this, will they even have a hand worth stealing? But it's not just the hand. I don't know. I think it's fun.
kind of goofy.
I like it.
Maybe
Anyway,
like a
moving
ring.
on. This seems pretty solid.
This card's nice. I
So
mean, it's not
for
great.
4, it's a little slow, but it's not bad. So 4 mana, scry 2 draw, then next turn, scry 2 draw. So you're over 2 turns getting a scry 4 draw 2, which is like acceptable, but not
Slow.
amazing.
Definitely
Slow.
slow.
But then it also does turn into
So
a
a
4/3 body.
Whenever you cast a spell, make
Yeah.
a 1/1,
Mhm.
and if you have 20 things just lying around, right?
Just have one.
Just have them.
Maybe have one
You can take an extra turn, which is
Take
funny
an extra turn.
and cute
Yeah.
and never gonna.
But
work.
even if that, even if we ignore that and pretend that line doesn't exist
Yep.
at all, the fact that it makes a body that also, that's
That
not
can't
a
be
bad
blocked.
ability.
that can be blocked.
If they don't remove it right away, that can make a lot.
Yeah.
It's any spell. That's creatures.
Yeah,
That's,
if you play some sort of cheap spell slingy deck with other cards in the format like Cosmograph.
yeah, it's slow, but in the right decks and the right matchups,
Yep.
like
Agreed.
it's high value.
I mean, this is definitely more of a sideboard card where you want to
or
be slower.
or just in a
against other
control
slow-
deck that can afford to like build around it.
That's interesting because like
I play this, they make things, and then I board wipe them on the turn 2.
and then
it can help you
flips,
find what
and then you
need.
counter something.
And then,
but no,
yeah.
the things can't block. That's the problem.
No, but they can't block it either.
So, but like,
Well, this can block. I mean, this is still a 4/3. I'm mostly just thinking like on turn 4. You know, if I can survive the turn to just play this on turn 4, then on my next turn with all the scrying and drawing, I can organize a board wipe.
yep.
And now on my next turn, I'm getting this free 4/3 and all my mana on tap. So if they don't remove it immediately, I can make a whole bunch of things. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Anyway, moving on.
This card,
Shaitan.
this is more of a modern card where fetch lands exist and you can respond to a fetch land.
Oh yeah, this is kind of like the Hydroid Krasis thing.
It's basically a Hydroid Krasis in this format. This mode of searching doesn't really matter in a format like standard where searching
Whenever an opponent searches the library. Yeah, I mean,
doesn't exist.
this could be relevant.
But the fact that it's a flash, like a flash,
the flash is a big deal.
like if you think about like a flash, if you cast this for 6 mana, right? X is 4.
Sure.
It's like draw 2 cards, 3/3. Draw 2 cards, 5/5 body, flash, flying, vigilance. Maybe Momo reduces it by 1. Like that is a card.
Yeah, no,
You know?
and that's true. Momo does reduce it by 1, but also, you know, there's a lot of control-y blue decks that just tap back and or pass back and forth with a huge amount of mana, and maybe they'll spend 5 or 6 mana to like use a land ability to make a token.
I know
like,
what you're
wouldn't
talking
you rather
about,
do this?
sideboard, but like this in a sideboard control mirror, you're playing the control
Sure.
mirror, and you both have 7
You could
mana.
like main one inside
Boom.
another
Yeah,
or something. Okay. Waterbending Scroll.
If there's like a mono blue tempo deck and you're playing mono islands
Yeah.
and it's like 0 mana draw card late game, that's pretty
Give
broken.
us back Tempest Djinn.
Yeah, seriously.
Is that still-
Haughty Djinn?
Wait, isn't Tempest Djinn in standard though?
Haughty Djinn, no.
No, Tempest Djinn.
No, Tempest Djinn isn't a thing. Haughty Djinn.
No, it's a card called Tempest
What does
Djinn.
it do?
It's a X4 and it's a creature.
It's called Haughty Djinn.
It's called Tempest Djinn.
It's called Haughty Djinn.
You want to bet?
Look it up.
Let's bet right now.
Look it up. No, wait,
Alright,
no,
the stream's gonna watch.
Yeah.
I was opening a new tab.
Haughty
Maybe they renamed it. Search Tempest Djinn.
Djinn. Oh, what is this? Is this a X4 3 mana flyer that
No,
power equal to
that's
the
not what I said. I said
What?
equal to the number of lands you control. It's called Tempest Djinn. So there's 2 Djinns and they're similar. Look, that's what I was talking about.
Oh,
so we're both right, but
What
this
is
is what I was referring
this?
to. Look, this
This
is
is
a
before my
beast.
time.
Yeah, this is a
Wait,
beast.
this is sick.
Yeah, I
I've
know.
never seen this card.
This
okay.
this made mono blue really
So
good.
I was kind of wrong. You
Because
were
so
kinda
on
wrong.
3, it's a 3/4 flyer, but and any later in the game, it's like
Yeah.
6/4,
Yeah.
7/4.
Yeah, this card's crazy. Just don't touch it, and it's crazy. Oh, look at this altar. Okay, we're getting off
All right,
topic.
well, at least there we were both right.
All right,
We-
yeah,
we
that's-
weren't misthinking. There's just 2 different cards.
Maybe a pioneer deck, you know, with this
Anyway.
card and that card.
I don't remember clicking on this.
I did. It's a 1 mana removal spell. If there is
Get
some
this
sort of,
out of my sight.
if there's like a sacrifice deck in standard,
Yeah, maybe.
this is a
that
1
black
mana removal
white
spell.
earlier we
Black,
saw.
exactly.
Oh my god.
Heartless Act.
Heartless Act is
this
back!
is the new best 2 mana removal spell, probably in the format.
Until everyone runs things with counters.
It is probably better than the one that kills non-mercenaries.
I think Go for the Throat. Is that what you're talking about?
No, that one's banned. That one's no longer legal.
No, I know, but I'm saying I thought you were talking about like all the like.
No, I
periodic
mean in
2-mana.
standard now. Like
Oh.
I mean
Well,
legal
yeah,
in
yeah.
the
This would
format.
be the best one now. For
Well,
sure.
but there's also
There's no great one right now.
there's the mercenary one.
Yeah, this is better.
Yeah,
The mercenary one has way too many exceptions.
The
Counters is a lot more
outlaw.
specific
Yep.
than all of the types that are outlaws.
Yep.
Yeah, no, instant. But I'm saying like last several years, like
This is still
they
one of the
always
best
have
ones.
like a 1 black, 1 colorless instant destroy
Removal.
creature except if they Y, right?
And this is
And I would
probably
say
one
it's
with
in the top
least
3.
amount of exceptions.
I would say go.
Yep.
What was Go for the Throat?
Not an artifact creature.
Yeah, that one was probably better,
That
but
one
this
was
was
good.
probably second in
Yep.
my opinion.
Yep.
Anyway,
This card
picked
could
this
be
one.
cool. I do not want to take the time
You
to
picked
look
it.
for cards with activated and triggered abilities.
it does a lot of things.
But if there is like some crazy activated or triggered ability that I don't know about,
I mean, it does
let us
remove
know,
a
tell us.
creature as soon as you enter.
Comments? I don't know.
It is a 6/6 that does get rid of a creature when it enters.
Yeah.
So it's not like totally useless.
No. This card's dog shit unless there's like some broken thing that I just didn't.
Well, it
think
also
about.
steals their abilities.
Well, what I mean is that you might want to get rid of your own creature if it has some abilities that you like.
Sure,
think
but
are
also
really
if
good.
they have something good, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, well, like even just stealing something with like hexproof or something, and then now it's hard to remove.
Activated and triggered ability.
Oh,
I don't
never
think
mind.
it gives it.
No, you're right. It wouldn't be activated trigger. I don't know, something cool.
Maybe.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Not bad. Aggro.
Yeah.
Two, maybe in that Rakdos deck that
Yeah.
with the 2/3. I mean, like 2/2 first strike for 2 is fine.
And then just like making every spell, removal spells now cost 2 life.
yeah.
You know, draw spells cost 2 life. You know, board wipes even. Cost
Yeah,
2
this
life.
can be pesky. This can
Yeah.
kind of force you to remove it, and
Yep.
then even when they do, they take 2.
And now
maybe
your
you
better
swung for
creatures,
2.
like the 2/3 that draws a card and then
Right.
like that.
So
Now
if-
that one's surviving.
Right, or if
now
they use removal on that, then now by the time they remove this as well,
they've already
lose
lost
4
a bunch of
life.
life. Yep.
And yeah, so I think this is good in an aggro. It is legendary, so you'd have to consider not running
Yep.
like 4 copies, but
Yep.
but 2 or 3
Yep.
is probably fine. Oh, this one has a lot.
This is interesting.
Yeah, so when it enters right away, you
Or on
lose a
your
life
upkeep.
and clear its clue token. Then at the beginning of every upkeep after that, you lose 1 life and create
So
a
it's
clue
Bitter
token.
Blossom for clue tokens.
So, tokens don't draw right away, but they are artifacts, which means you
They
can
can
use
tap
them
for
for
water
bending.
bending.
Right. And
You can
then,
tap them for other. There's other cards in the format like Viper, something Viper, the one where you can sack 5 non-land permanents and you get a 1-mana 4/4 that like does a bunch of shit. Like there's cards in the
Yeah.
format that make this card get good.
And then it has 2 other things, right?
Yep.
One is when you attack, X is the number of permanents you sacrifice this turn. So if you sack any of these or anything else, you're going to get
Counters on your creatures that are attacking.
And then if X is 3 or greater, but they also gain lifelink. So that could be relevant too in
Yep.
a race or whatever.
Mhm.
I think it's pretty strong. It,
Yep.
it does cost a lot of life, so, I mean, but it could potentially give you life back with lifelink.
Yep.
But, even if this triggers, let's say red and enters and then 3 more turns, like 4 map tokens for 2 mana.
Yeah, it's not
and-
map, it's clues.
Clues.
Oh, you're.
Hmm?
It's good.
Next one. Phoenix.
This card's a joke.
Yeah, I don't know why we clicked it.
Yeah.
Raven Eagle.
This card we were actually
Questionable if
discussing
it's standard or not.
a good amount.
Yeah.
So, my thinking about this card, I really like this card.
Mhm.
If you like play some sort of mono black or some sort of Orzhov control deck or some sort of like more mid-rangey big control-y deck, and you kill a creature on turn 1 or 2, you play this on turn 3, you exile their creature, you make a clue.
Mhm.
You've already gotten enough value to where if they now spend a removal spell on this guy, you can crack that clue. It's almost a 2-for-1. It's kind
Yeah.
of a 2-for-1.
It does require them having a creature in the grave.
But if you're
when
playing
you enter
some
with it.
deck with, 10,
Sure.
12, 15, 20 removal spells in it,
Mhm.
if you're playing a mono removal spell deck, this card gets better.
Right.
And also, if it goes unchecked and there are, creature spells in
Yeah,
graveyards,
it makes a lot of clue
every
tokens.
every
and
turn
then-
making a clue is pretty broken.
Sure, and if you ever crack any of them or have
On
anything
your
else
turn,
that draws,
if you crack them on your turn,
right, then
you're-
you also -1 gain 1,
Yep.
which is solid.
and it's a flyer for
It's a flyer. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's standard good enough, but
Yep.
maybe. We thought this was alright because, it's a 4 mana that when it enters, it destroys a creature with power 4 less. For some reason I thought mana 4 less. But that's still pretty solid.
Yeah.
It does tap to do so, but then it becomes
It's kind of goofy. I don't know.
I mean,
if it's
crew
really-
2 is not that hard, and
Yeah.
6/3 tramples a lot. Like, my thinking is if you crew this with, let's say the Rakdos deck we were talking about. You have all these creatures that are power 2 or whatever. You crew this and swing in, even if they can block it, like 6 trample or whatever.
You've already killed a creature.
You've
so
already
it's
killed
already
a
a
creature.
2-for-1.
It'll kill another creature in the
And
block,
still do
and it'll
damage.
still do damage.
Yeah.
And then it still does have this ability if that's ever relevant.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty sweet.
So I feel like it could be fine as a 1/2 of.
Yep. This is another. We
Oh,
can
good
go over
lesson.
this quickly. This is just another good lesson. It's a 2-mana instant. Deal 2 plus the number of lessons in your graveyard to any creature.
And exile.
And
if it
that,
kills it.
if it kills it, that creature would die. So
Right.
this is just another great lesson in that
Yeah.
teamer lesson.
Even
deck.
as your first lesson, it can remove early game threats, and as your second or higher lesson,
late
it's
game,
much
this
better.
can kill like
Late game,
5 toughness,
yeah,
6
even if you
toughness.
have 3 or 4
easy.
lessons, it's
Yeah.
exactly. And then exiling it is super relevant.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of things that we want to exile.
Yeah, this
Um,
card's goofy.
We thought
card's
this
not
was
good.
goofy. I think we clicked on it just because maybe
'Cause-
someone can figure something out
And
with
the
it.
art's pretty. Like that.
The art is pretty. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Firebending last.
This-
Another good last.
same
Dude,
thing.
oh, this. Wait, no, this wasn't the crazy one.
No,
But this
no.
was good. Too. This is, what's it called again? The bolt?
Burst lightning.
Burst lightning, right?
But
It's
only for creatures, so you
only
can't go
for
face.
creatures.
But it's 1 mana, deal 2. Late game, if you like top deck it, it's 5 mana, deal 5, which is relevant. Which like that's 5 damage.
It's a way to add a couple more lessons. I think maybe it's like 2 copies.
No, I think standard is fast enough, and there are enough cheap things in standard. You just want 4.
It just depends, right? If the standard becomes a lot of 3 toughness things on 2,
It's bad.
Then it's bad.
Yeah.
If it's 2, then it's
Yep.
good. So it'll depend.
Yeah.
But it could be a sideboard card, if not a main board card
Like
for
two
like white
main,
type
2 side,
decks.
or something like that.
Something. We thought
This card's cool.
Yeah.
There's a mono red Leyline of Residence deck where it basically doubles pump spells targeting your creatures. They get copied.
didn't this have another ability or no? I guess not.
No, so let's say you cast a spell, it prowess, you make mana, and then you can spend that mana on more pump spells. So if you have enough pump spells in hand, it is like,
You can
generating
spend it on
mana.
like removal too.
Yeah,
Like
it's good.
instant, your sorcery or your lesson instance.
It's just a nice prowess creature, I would say.
This one was another
lesson.
potential, right? It's 2 mana, deal 4,
Yep.
which can be relevant if there's like
Yep.
4 toughness creatures you need to kill, or a 1 spread, which could be relevant. So this could be again the kind of thing that's like main 1 or 2, side 1 or 2
Yep.
kind of thing. It just depends. Again, cheap lessons
Yeah.
that are good.
This is another cheap lesson.
Sideboard
Sideboard card against artifact decks, or
Just this one is probably
Worse.
only a side card.
it's kind of worse. Yeah.
It does replace like you do draw.
And like if you are playing against a super heavy like 5-color deck with no basics, like super greedy deck, it is Stone Range.
Yeah, I don't know.
Valkyrie.
If there's some standard deck that like really relies on an artifact surviving for its
Yeah.
strategy, but
Yeah.
like this is a TBD.
Yeah.
Um,
So this is like a firebending payoff card. It's a 5 mana 4/4, and if you have 3 lessons, which should be easy by turn 5.
3 or more dragon and or lessons. So if for some reason the 3 mana is it dragon.
Right.
So
yeah,
that does
right,
help. It's
right,
like
right, that
1
does help.
plus 2, whatever.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you get
You get 2 of them.
You get 2 4/4s.
And
That
they both
also each have firebending too,
and they both
they're
have
flyers.
and they both have something to do with that mana you firebend. So
yeah, so I could see
nice.
1 or 2 copies.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I think this card's nuts.
You got this. This is all
right,
you.
I think it's nuts. Maybe I'm wrong.
I
there.
think this card's nuts too.
But, it changes any targeted spell or ability for 1 mana plus 5 life or 3 mana, depending on what's more relevant.
Yep.
So
and
if,
the fact that you have that choice is another like underlooked thing about this card. Like
choices like this are great.
Yeah.
I mean, the most perfect situations that I can think of that come up often is if you have a creature and they have a creature and they use a removal on your creature, then I'm going to say 1 mana, because I actually think paying 5 life here would be fine once or twice, especially if I'm, for 1 mana and 5 life, I'm using their removal spell to kill their creature. So
it's like a
my
3 for
creature
1.
survives.
Yep.
They lose the mana for their spell, they lose the creature, and they lose the removal,
Yep.
and I only spent 1 mana to do
Yep.
that.
Yep.
That's nuts.
No,
if
that's
later life is important, or if I just have extra mana, then I can use 3.
Yep.
But keep in mind, it also works on things like duress, because those target
Yep.
players. So now they're losing their duress, they're losing another card in their hand, and I get to see their whole hand. And they don't get to see my hand. All of those things are very relevant.
It can counter stuff like Tishana's Tidebinder.
It
like-
can counter, a lot of targeted
Oh,
abilities.
it counters counter spells. This is another overlooked.
Because counter spells can target players.
Because counter spells target spells, and then you can change the target of the counter spell to itself, and then it fizzles. So this
Incredible.
is a protection spell against counter spells
Sure.
as well.
Great.
So yeah, this card's nutty.
Maybe
This
there's
card's
some
broken.
situation where a counter spell is on a stack of another spell they've cast.
And you can- yep.
I mean, that's probably
in
rare.
like a Jeskai control deck.
Yeah.
You could play this.
You never know. I
And
think
it's a 1 mana
the
lesson.
fact that it's 1
It's a 1 mana
means
lesson.
I can win counter wars for 1 mana.
Yes.
Is kind of nuts.
Yes. And in a non-blue spell, so they might not even see it coming. We have 1 red mana.
Yeah, I think, and it's a lesson. It's an instant lesson. So I think it's crazy.
Yep.
Anyway,
Oh, this card's okay.
we clicked on this thinking maybe the reason why it seems okay is like if you have a fight that you win by a lot, or if you have like a lot of excess power, you get to keep the mana. But
Or if you have other firebending stuff, those also don't lose. You don't lose that mana.
right, so all of your firebending mana, which normally goes away at the end of your combat phase,
Yeah.
will all translate.
Which is so like if there is a firebending
So-
deck, this is a 4 of. But if there isn't, which I don't think there will be, this card's out.
Yeah, I never loved fighting.
Yeah.
Versus like the green where it's like,
Like
this
biting,
creature does
bite,
its
yeah.
power to the other. Yeah. Biting, is that what they call
Yeah.
it? Roku
I
seems
think
good.
this card's great.
I think so too.
This is like just one of those like mid-rangey bombs where
Yeah.
you play this on 4 mana. It's like
Or 5 if you want to cast the
Yeah.
land. Or not on 5 mana, but like on the turn after you've played 4 mana.
right.
So you can
you
play,
can
a, land
play a land.
and theoretically play another land if 2
Yeah.
lands come.
Like this is just like
what
a
was,
lot of
what
the
was
times.
another saga that was 4 mana that did something similar
right
not
here.
too long ago?
Showdown of the
You
Skulls.
already have it ready to go. Showdown of the Skulls. That's
Right
what I was
here.
thinking of.
Yep. This one is top
Similar
4.
and different. This is top 3.
But the thing about this card that makes it really interesting is the mana. It's only 1 mana, but the fact that it gives you mana to cast these spells from exile
does help.
is very big because it means that you can use the cards more efficiently.
Yes.
A lot of the time with Showdown, like even though you look to the top 4, you won't be able to use all 4,
Right.
Because you don't have the mana,
Right.
Whereas this card gives you the
Yeah,
mana.
and sometimes the counters from Skull are really good, but sometimes they barely matter at all. Whereas extra mana probably will always matter.
No, this card is
and
like
then transforming into a 4/4
Firebending 4.
Firebending 4, which
that makes dragons that also have Firebending 4. So
Right.
you make one dragon, and then now they both attack and pay for the next dragon.
Now, when a
Right.
saga transforms, does it have summoning sickness?
It does.
It does,
It
right? Okay, so you do have to wait. So it's not like insane, but I like these sagas that are turning into bodies in general. I
Yeah.
just think you're getting good value.
This card is like honestly,
I think it's
I
pretty
see this
good.
card as like a mid-range, just banger of a card.
Yeah.
Like
Also,
4 mana, like
this is just
this-
red, whereas Skull is
Skull-
red white.
Skull is Boros.
So that limits your
Yep.
deck building a
Yep.
lot more than this, which can be splashed in a lot more things.
Yeah, I'm gonna need this card for modern, I think.
Zao. So this actually seems really good in a red aggro deck, especially against control or decks, or not even
Especially
control
on the
decks,
play,
just
right?
decks that
Yeah.
that rely on a lot of non-basics.
Yeah, which
right.
is most
a
decks
2/2
in
menace
Standard.
for 2 is fine, and then if you're putting them a land behind each turn, like they're losing their land for
Yep.
the turn, can be difficult.
That matters.
And then if this is ever relevant in a late game situation, then
Like-
it turns all non-basic lands to red. So if they're not on red, then it bricks their game.
Like, for example, you play this, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then you play other creatures, and they have a board wipe for 4 mana.
Mhm.
And on turn 4, they can't cast their board wipe because their land comes in tapped,
Right.
and you get an entire extra turn. You basically time walk their board wipe.
Yeah, no,
right?
and in aggro, every turn is super
Every turn
important.
matters, right? Because
But it's either turn behind all the removals, a turn
Yep.
behind, like it's just a pain in the ass
Yep.
to deal with. So I could see this being, if not mained in some red aggro, then at least sided,
Yep.
depending on like how prevalent.
what the meta looks
Yeah,
like.
if there's a bunch of basic land decks running around, then a 2/2 menace is probably
Yeah, a
not
bunch
good
of
enough.
monocolored decks.
Then it'd
or-
just be side. Oh, this card's nuts. You go top.
Yeah, this card's great. So, Earthbending we haven't talked about much. I don't think there's many good Earthbending cards, unfortunately. So basically,
Earthbending itself is good though.
so you make one of your lands a creature with amount of counters on it equal to the number of Earthbending. So
And
in this
haste.
case, 1, and you give it haste. But if you tap, but you can, on turn 2, play Badgermore Cub, give a tapped land, a counter, and now it's a creature. But what really is interesting about this card is, one thing about Earthbending is when that land dies, it comes back as a normal land and no longer a creature.
Right.
But so that gets rid of the downside. There have been effects in Standard, in Magic, in the past where you can make your lands creatures. But if they, go for the throat,
It also
land,
works on
it's
exile.
done.
So
yeah.
even enchantments that
Yep.
banish it, you just put it
Yep.
right back. So I think that's huge. I think the fact that the lands
Yep.
essentially remain lands no matter what
And
is really
we're not
nice.
even talking about the better part of this card, which says whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional mana. So
And all
there's-
these land creatures.
Yeah, there's 8 mana.
now add
There's
2
there's
mana.
2 mana dorks in Standard for 1 mana. There's 3 mana dorks in Standard for 1 mana that all can add additional mana. All of your Earthbending lands add additional mana.
Yeah.
Like this can ramp out. Like
Yeah.
theoretically, if you go Llanowar Elves on 1, this card on 2.
And then turn 3.
Turn 3, you have like six
You have
mana.
turn 3. You'd have 5.
Llanowar
right?
Elves, the land, and then 2 other lands. You have 6.
Oh.
Yeah. So turn 3, you could have 6 mana with this card if you go Elf into Badgermore Cub.
Yeah,
into,
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, so
that is a crazy
this is
curve.
so- this
yeah, you
is
wait turn
really-
3, 6 mana.
This is
That is
explosive.
actually crazy.
This is explosive.
Yeah, no, and I love too that with the Earthbending, it's like you can always go wide with them, and if they block a few, it lets you get more damage in, and then they just become
They come
lands.
back, yeah.
So like,
No harm.
Earthbending's actually strong. It's just a question of are there enough good Earthbending cards? We didn't look at all of them, so maybe there's some more.
There could be some like commons and uncommons we skip through.
Um,
I don't like this card.
I
We can
only
talk
clicked
about
on it because because it says for each non-human creature you control gets 1/1 for each of its types. So if there is some green aggro where like all of your aggro cards are 2 creature types, then
there
it's like
is actually a mono green aggro deck.
yeah. Then
I
well,
can see
if
this
I'm
card
saying if
fitting.
they also have 2 creature types and they have to be non-human. So like
Yeah,
if it's like beast, I don't know, Chumpkin.
Yeah. There is like
Then it's +2 too. So like theoretically, if this gives like 2 creatures +2/2, like and it's a 4/4, maybe it's okay.
yeah, that's actually a good point.
Oh, this was a good Earthbend card too. This is a great Earthbend card. So right when it
Yes, this card's
enters,
great.
it Earthbends 2. So you make a land a 2/2, right? Which has
Then-
some other things.
Search your library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tap for 3 mana. So that's like a lot for just 3 mana, and there's
And
more.
then immediately, because of landfall, and this
Yep.
puts a land, it puts a quest counter on this. When you have 4 or more, you put a 1/1 counter on a target creature you control. It gets trample every single time you landfall.
As long as
So,
you have 4, every
yeah.
land for the rest of the game with this
Is
card on the
puts
battlefield.
1/1 counter and trample till end of turn.
Yep, which
Is
you
nice
know,
in
big
green.
big rampy fat creature deck.
Totally.
Could be
And
great.
you know the fact that I don't even remember what I was gonna say. It's okay.
Okay, moving on.
Earthbend is good.
This card's kind of bad, but we wanted to. This card's interesting because if there is a white weenie deck that has some of the blinky like enters the battlefield kind of abilities,
I mean, it's not hard to get the quest
4,
counters
right?
necessarily.
And also it is 2 mana remove a thing, with airbend, like airbend something. So it is kind of a tempo play, right? If you play a couple creatures and then you play this, exile their thing. Now they have to.
if you have enough
spend 2 mana.
ETBs, if there's like white weenie ETB type
Yeah.
stuff.
Like Thraben Inspector.
And last we have Appa. Yip yip.
Yeah.
Yeah, Appa seems good.
It's another great card in like maybe there could be a blue-white flash flying
Yeah,
kind of deck. In
we like
standard
flash.
tempo.
4 mana, 3/4 fly or flash is solid stat line. When it enters, airbend any number of other target non-land permanents you control. So you can airbend all your ETB stuff, and then whenever you cast them again, you also make 1/1s. So you get the ETB again, and you get 1/1s again.
Yep.
Solid. Maybe
Yeah.
not amazing. But
Solid. If there are again like ETB stuff and you airbend all your ETB creatures and then you get to untap, right? Because you play this on their end step. You untap. You get to play them all, and they all come with their ETBs and a 1/1 attached. Like that. That's value, and it's 3/4.
yeah.
It's nice.
So there's probably some cards we missed.
Yeah, let us know in the
Yeah, if
comments
you think there's
section.
anything, the comments. If you think there's anything like really good that was missed,
We
definitely
missed.
say something. If
Yeah.
you feel like we missed a point on one of these cards, or if
or
we made
we
an
read
interesting
something
point,
wrong, or
you know, if you were like, "Wow, that's a really good point. What a crazy card."
us
We're gonna
making
make a lesson
interesting
deck.
points.
I want
Teamer lessons. You heard it here first.
Teamer lessons.
We should actually do that.
At least is
in a
it
video.
lessons? It might be Teamer though. I think it might be Teamer.
Yeah.
Anyway, in another video.
Yeah. Thank
All
you
right.
for watching.
Ciao, ciao for now. How are you? Let's turn this on.
Cringe.